Promoting Genetic Diversity in Horses by Alexander A., Jose C., and Gavin B. Domesticated horses have been around for over 4,000 years during the ancient times of Asia. Having only a single breed at the time, humans have bred different types of horses and created new breeds known as inbreeding. Thus have allowed humans to breed up to 400 different varieties of horses. However, despite having many variations, this makes horses the third organism with the least genetic variation. The traits in horses we will be focusing on will be both strength, in which humans have altered for racing, and strength that we humans use for hauling carts and such. We humans were involved in the previous mentioned traits by inbreeding horses. Inbreeding is the act of breeding to closely related animals for humans for many generations. Not only is inbreeding bad for horses, but due to making them have a higher chance of skeletal problems, but it lowers genetic diversity in horse species. Artificial selection has changed the variability in horses by inbreeding them to human demands such as horse racing. This inbreeding has caused several birth defects, genetic mutations, skeletal and muscle structure failure, and reduced chances of reproduction. Yes, it can be beneficial for us humans who demand it. But it can be a huge risk for horses who are inbred to have a disease. Back in 2006, 11 thoroughbreds died due to being inbred and had skeletal failures and died due to breaking legs and necks.
What is the biggest problem for these organisms? One of the horse's biggest problem is a health problem called colic. It causes horses to have abdominal pain, and the commonly causes can come from gas, impaction, grain overload, sand ingestion, and parasite infection. A way you can avoid this is to always have clean water for the horses, allow pasture turnout, avoid feeding hay on the ground in sandy areas, feed grain and pelleted seeds when needed to, and float the horse's teeth almost every 6 months. What is the biggest problem for humans when thinking this artificially selected organism? We mostly think about what we need and what we are in demand for. We, the consumers, really do not think about problems with horses and just want what we want. Possible genetically diverse solutions. One possible solution for there is to be more genetic variation, could be less inbreeding, and to let the horses breed by themselves. Not only will this help them get more genetic variation, but this will lower the risk of skeletal failure. Why promoting genetic diversity is important for this organism? Promoting genetic diversity in this organism is important because if there is a lot of the same kind in the same conditions, they'll all die if the condition worsens. But if there's variation, some will die, but others will be more resistant. Closing. The conclusion we have to come to today is that inbreeding for horses can lead to harm in offspring and harmful mutations, and genetic diversity should be promoted in order to avoid this. And now to the credits.